4 European states are currently trying to kill an important and vital deal in the European Parliament, and we should really talk about it. French, Austrian, Polish, and Irish representatives with massive lobbying entities at their backs are trying to kill the EU Mercosur deal that was recently proposed to Europe's governing institutions. The deal covers Latin America, specifically Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay. It would give these countries major tariff reductions and quota-based access to the European market, ratified at the EU level. That means legal certainty for future investment, no sudden tariff switching, access to EU public procurement markets, and long-term economic anchoring to Europe instead of China. This is great news for anyone who actually cares about the well-being of people in Latin America. For anyone who cares about development, long-term stability, and the future of countries that are still trying to climb the value chain instead of being locked out by corporate interests. Their products would gain access to the world's largest high-income consumer market and be allowed to compete in it, which would dramatically strengthen their economies. But this deal isn't just about Latin America joining our market, it's also about Europe joining theirs. The Mercosur market is large and heavily protected. This agreement cracks it open for European industry by removing or sharply reducing tariffs on cars and car parts, industrial machinery, heavy equipment, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, and medical devices. In other words, the exact high-quality, high-complexity manufacturing Europe actually excels at. This would allow European industry to become a primary supplier for Latin America instead of less competitive Chinese alternatives. This deal cuts both ways. So the question is obvious. Why would anyone try to block it? The answer is corporate interests. One sector in particular that controls a rich voting bloc and has, in recent years, begun to live like a tumor on Europe's budget. A parasitic network of agricultural lobbying groups that siphon off a massive and illogical share of EU taxpayer money year after year. Some of these networks have on multiple occasions aligned themselves with interests that directly undermine European economic and security goals, including opposition to key partners like Ukraine. They are willing to sabotage Europe's long-term strategic position to protect short-term rent-seeking. I'm talking about groups like FNSEA and Copa Cohega. These lobbies hide behind environmental rhetoric and anti-deforestation language, while knowing perfectly well that meaningful environmental enforcement only comes with economic development. A country must build manufacturing capability, internal security, functioning institutions, and state control before park rangers and regulators can enforce anything in reality. Don't be fooled by moral laundering. Contact your European representatives. Let them know where you stand on the issue, because only together can we build a world that's more prosperous, more stable, and less hostage to narrow corporate interests.